All right, let's go. I'm ready. Let's do the shit.
All right. So, would you stop it? My lovely fiance is in the background trying to be as annoying as possible. I'm not exaggerating.
That's awesome.
She is actively trying to
does that all the
interrupt
time.
the
She
stream.
rules.
Good try.
Hey, Goggle Bob, pass a message along to your fiance for me. First of all, tell her hi. It's that guy you met in Florida.
Dean says hi.
Secondly, tell her that it's extremely good that you are annoying, that she is annoying you, and that she should continue doing it.
He compliments you for annoying me. She says yay.
Excellent. I'm very happy about this.
Let the games begin.
Bob.twitch. Is it that one? What the fuck? Oh.
I just posted it on my Twitter. You need to copy a link.
Twitch.tv/Goggle Bob blog. And I'll throw in a word into the thread, which I updated a little while ago.
Yes,
because I'm
excellent
cool
work.
like that.
Red word.
All right, thank you.
Adequate work.
Wow. throw a bit in there. Post reply. Hey, we're live and shit. Whatever. Extremely good
Real
lines.
life, real shit.
Brand new. I'll insert.
I feel like I'm
Reply.
looking. Well, I feel like the monster following you is like a cross between a Pikachu and a bomb.
Pikachu and a bomb. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's technically supposed to be one of those little search dudes from Final Fantasy IV.
Well, it looks like a cross between Pikachu and a bomb.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that technically it kind of predates Pikachu.
I mean, kind of, but it was also very low res at the time.
What are you... Oh, don't you dare! My fiance
Yes,
has
dare.
threatened to start vacuuming.
There.
Oh, God.
There.
But no, don't you... No!
Do it.
Back
Do
away
it.
from the
Yes.
plug.
Yes.
Damn it!
This is the background
No
noise Final
vacuum.
Fantasy, World of Final Fantasy Maxima deserved.
Good night, honey. She's exhausted. She has stopped vacuuming. It was all that cleaning and took it out of her.
It was a passing fantasy.
Passing Final Fantasy, if you will.
First of all, to
It's a fantasy, not fantasy.
Whatever.
to technically kick off here, I'm going to point out the fact that I've been cheating on all of you.
I mean, yeah, no shit.
In the meanwhile, well, yeah, you in particular, Beat. But in
I mean,
the
we're not dating or
meanwhile,
anything, but go off.
I decided to clear out the Colosseum just to see if there was anything interesting there, and the answer is no.
It's all trash from start to finish.
Pretty
That's
much.
almost impressive. Like, I'm almost, like, I want to be like, damn, really? No way.
Like, there's like
That's
3
cool.
battles that were interesting, and there was one little tiny bit of plot where they reveal that a female Ifrit and a male Shiva has escaped, but I didn't actually fight either of those characters, so that's just a thing. So,
I didn't realize that those were entire species.
yeah, apparently it is implied, it is actually outright stated that the lore is Ifrit, Shiva, and Ruma are all species, and there are banned versions of them that in the event that they get bored and not summoned, they will possess a human and go off to other places.
Just an entire
Okay, like, when they say
species
possession,
of like weird old men.
There's like various levels of this. Is this a, oh, you are now dead and your body is just a husk running around being worn by this thing?
That seems to be the implication.
There is the you're fighting from inside, but like totally ineffective and like, you know, the get out version of possession.
Ifrit
And then of course there's my favorite, the version where they just pop into your brain and be like, hey, you want to like have some awesome powers and also wreck some stuff? And I'd be like, shit, yeah, let's go. And we're best friends forever inside my brain.
Yeah, now apparently the way Ifrit and Shiva reacted to the news, which Ruma basically showed up like their dad and was like, yo, losers, you let some buddies out. But the way they reacted apparently makes it sound like it's that first choice where they just kill somebody and now they're an Ifrit or Shiva. So fun fact there.
So my real question is like, do all Ramus from birth have like, are they all just old men from birth? Is that just how they work?
Maybe this game will answer that question.
That question that I never wanted answered because it was bad.
Yes, well, we'll find out.
Let's
I'm
actually
just saying-
introduce ourselves.
Maybe.
We need more media representation of the kind of possession where it's like, shit, yeah, new brain friend. What's good, homie?
Yeah, we don't get enough
Absolutely.
new
That's
brain
probably
friends.
the most common one.
No, you don't see that very often.
So anyway, in the meanwhile, here's our world as it currently stands, and it's kind of
Right.
cool. I figured out that the dark area is apparently dark because some idiot parked it under some other island.
I mean, it is in the shadow. Oh my god, yeah, those are. That's really cool, actually.
So, like, there's an actual
I mean,
explanation for why it's
core
dark.
vibes here, where like part of the plot is that like the world's spine has like 6 separate like Earths essentially. Just instead of oceans, they have you can fall down to the next level, and like since there's 7 whole like layers of continents just like rotating around it. It's stupid rare for sunlight to actually hit the actual core.
Goggle Bob, where is the Kingdom of Zeal on this map?
It's all the Kingdom of Zeal.
Oh god, we're in for a downfall.
Yeah, no, man, that would be a version of World of Final Fantasy I'd be excited about if the world of Chrono Trigger was trying to invade.
Oh man, I'd play that.
I would play that in a heartbeat.
Can't believe the Pore army got finished ruining Chrono Trigger and came back for more.
Huh? That's not the usual train whistle.
Look over there. I think I see some lights that weren't there
Okay,
before.
so moving on from our last location, we've been told
Maybe the
to,
train will
I
take
guess,
us to the
head in
upper
this
the
direction.
continents.
Head on to Mount Doom, Halloween Town? I don't
Pretty
know.
much. If we run into Jack Skellington, it will be seasonally appropriate.
I did like the train design. See, that's the thing that like kept occurring to me while I was writing up the last episode, because I helped out by writing up the last episode.
You did.
Yes, I'm very helpful. The thing that kept getting me
These tracks
was
don't
that
go
certain
anywhere.
like elements of this game,
Maybe they're
like
doing
I'm not
construction.
even gonna comment on the gameplay. It's a JRPG. You either like that or you don't. It's very low. It's very low impact gaming. Extremely good for when you don't want to think too hard. I can't argue against that. It's fine.
There's so many places.
Um,
Start touring the other trains.
But the cutscenes kept approaching good. And that was frustrating because they never actually got good. They never stayed good. But at moments they'd be really good, and I'd be like, whoa, that was really good. It's a shame about everything else.
Go to the upper the continents?
Why do you hate this tech force so much?
Go on then.
Yeah, and this is
Bren-
the only part in the game where she's, like, angry so far.
Yeah, that was the part that like struck me the most. Like, she was like fucking amped up, and and it was literally the only time like it's a very cliche and stereotyped like display of emotion from an anime girl. But it was the only time she's had a personality so far.
Yes.
That's kind of upsetting.
I mean, like, that's the thing that I've been sort of approaching this game from, is that it's kind of bad as fan service, but
Well, it really is. You have
it's
to
not.
You have to like genuinely be the sort of person who flips out with joy when Cloud shows up, or otherwise you're just gonna be.
I mean, even if you are, he's barely in it. Like, that's the thing. Like,
yeah, like
you're not hanging out with these characters. You're seeing them for one scene and then they leave.
I mean, like, Cloud literally was like, let's go fight vampires, and was like, I gotta go get some wood. I'll talk to you later.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
sorry, I have homework.
Like, it's like the only way it could work is if you're like really into like. If you have like this bird brain derangement disease where it's just like, oh, I saw a Final Fantasy character, thank you, Mom.
Please fasten your seatbelts at this
Also, I
time.
think you were actually lightning
Seatbelts
for
on a
most
train?
of that last
What are they
dungeon.
for?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, I
shit,
was.
anime
I've
again,
now
like
turned
actual
that
animation.
off.
It's an animated
got-
scene.
I found out that, like, afterwards, apparently it changes the battle theme, because I could barely hear it while we're actually streaming.
I mean, Blinded by Light's a good battle theme. I
It
assume
really
that's
is,
That's fine.
but tired of being lightning now. And also, you can't do other Final Fantasy summons during that. Also,
Why?
goofy things are happening.
This is fun.
Like, the
I
thing
do
that
not like disagree with this in principle because it's fun, but
the thing that's
like
yeah,
this,
like,
this is a legitimately fun idea. I just wish the rest of the game could live up to like these moments of genuine fun, you know?
like the thing that throws me every time
Why does this world's
I look at this game is how, like, everything is so compartmentalized off from each other.
Yes.
Like, there's no chance for anything to have, like, a fun interaction that it couldn't have had in its own.
And
like,
also,
even when
there's like a weird. I mean, you say that, and then also just to build on that, like, it feels like there's no. As you're saying, with the no connection, like, after a while, you kind of learn there's no connection. So it's kind of like, once you've seen Riku once, you're like, okay, that was
I guess I won't be seeing her again.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
I mean...
unrelated thing, Zeph, hi, Zeph. Shoutouts to Zeph.
Hi, Zeph, and it's definitely Galaxy Express.
Oh, yeah. Solid 9s all around. Because, yeah, now we're obviously in Besaid.
And a warm welcome to the Empire.
Okay, we're going to call it Imperium. Whatever.
It's exactly Besaid and everything except it's named for some reason.
It makes me just want to laugh out loud.
Yeah, well, I realized it in reviewing the other day that apparently...
I have no idea how to
I
react
think
to
maybe
that, so I'm
earlier
just gonna
today.
ignore you.
But
Now, what do you say we
apparently
hit that
they
town
mentioned that entire dungeon we went through with the Mako reactor was called Midgar, and it was like, why did you guys even throw that in there?
Yeah, that's very silly. Also, Besaid is like the only, like, tropical paradise they ever really portrayed in a Final Fantasy game, unless we want to do Costa del Sol, which is a different vibe.
Yeah, very different vibe. But, oh good.
Just
thank
in
you.
response to something that brought up in the chat.
Be sure to enjoy.
Oh, finally installed. Player unknown. Okay. No,
I think that was the free PlayStation Plus for this month or something.
I still probably would have done
If an enemy slows you in battle, haste magic will fix you. Here.
Okay. So, yeah, so... But wouldn't it be... Again, we were just talking about... Yeah, Port Besaid. Okay, now we're definitely dealing with familiar territory. So, again, like, we're in a situation where obviously this would be cool for Riku to reemerge, but I'm sure she's not.
I could see Yuna might come back. She was there for like 3 seconds, like
Yeah,
15
and she very
hours ago.
deliberately, like, disappeared.
Also, why does it suddenly look less like Besaid now that you're in it?
We've got a temple in the deep to find.
Well,
Like,
it
now
looks
it's
like
just-
Start by asking
we've
around.
got some sort of nonsense going on that, like, it partially looks like, that the second town you go to. Not Besaid, but...
Kilika? No, Kilika is much more wooden.
But it's got the stuff... Oh, now the camera doesn't want to behave, and it just wants to feature on the ground. Thank you. Wow, look, everybody's got side quests here. I'm
This
literally
looks
not
more
talking
like
to you.
Radiant Garden than Besaid. This is something for you. That's a reference only you'll get among people watching this. It's more like Figaro, a little bit of that too. But, I mean,
It's kind of a family tradition.
it really is just
I
like,
get it.
why would you call it Port Besaid and then make it look less like Besaid than the entrance was?
Well, I'm
the
going to
sunken
go...
temple, huh?
Oh,
Boy.
you know what? They're talking about sunken temples. You know what they're going for here? The Final Fantasy town. The Final Fantasy
the
1 town.
one place that's got the mermaids in it?
Yes, that I could see how this is kind of going for that.
We're
maybe?
trying desperately to pretend that there's parts of FF1 that are iconic.
Yes.
What's that? You'd like to know more?
Oddly enough, I'd say the most iconic town in Final Fantasy 1 is that one that gets wrecked by the Earth.
Yeah, that's probably the one that projects the most atmosphere.
Yeah,
Because
so I mean, like
Apologies,
that's a place that is not having a fun time.
Apologies, I quickly switched over to Kishi's stream to yell at him for streaming when we were streaming because I want to be on both and I can't.
Wait, we're streaming opposite Kishi?
Yeah, he's playing Resident Evil.
Oh man!
He's doing the rest of the
right?
invisible enemy,
What a
right?
bummer.
I mean, I was looking forward to this, but now I guess we don't have to do it.
Nah, this is good. I'm glad we're doing this. I mean, this game sucks, but you know, I am glad for like the camaraderie.
I can't even say that the game sucks, it's just a lot of wasted potential.
Yeah, no, it's
That's why it sucks. I can absolutely say it sucks because I can see the potential, and it kills me. This is why I like Sonic Heroes the least of all the 3D Sonics I've played, because I can see its potential and it's glorious, and it never ever grasps it.
the promise of Amy, Cream the Rabbit, and Big the Cat working together.
Man, not even that. Just you know, like the idea is rock solid, and the game just kind of blows. And it's a shame. It's such a shame.
I'm sorry, is this a reference to the seminal movie Master of Disguise?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Starring what's his face? Wait, who does the starring? Wasn't Jim Carrey?
Dana
No, it was
Carvey?
not. Yeah, I think it was Dana Carvey. That came out almost exactly on 9/11.
Ugh. What a bad time for anything.
Well, no, it says it came out in 2020, 2002.
2002? I think it was originally slated at some point, but maybe I'm just...
Maybe it was the same week
a lot
as-
of things probably got pushed back then. You remember the first Spider-Man trailer?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's some tragic shit. Yeah, Dana Carvey. Figure.
Basically the tail end of his
I'm
relevance.
afraid I just don't know.
Yeah. He seems like a nice enough guy, unless like I missed something and it turns out he's a terrible person, which has happened.
He's nominated for a
Yeah.
Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award for favorite part in a movie.
I mean, that's a very good. That's a high honor right there.
The
Way better
highest
than
honor imaginable.
way better than a fucking Oscar. I would take that that fart the
Well, I
movie
mean,
fart prize.
plenty of people have won Oscars for not farting. So,
You could win
obviously.
an Oscar for fart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is, so what are you doing on this beach?
I'm supposed to be talking
Beaching.
to somebody?
Beaching around, you know?
It's time to read seminal novel on the beach.
Yeah, that's it.
Novels. Novela de beach.
I just...
It's based on a
Saw
novel.
something
I
on it.
remember the film, but I always assumed the film was based on it. Okay, yeah, 1957 novel.
Now, I'm sorry I keep going back to this, but like, it blows my mind how
You're not sorry enough.
I could be, man. Like, I actually am. I really am. But I just can't stop thinking about it. It blows my mind how, like, so many of the cutscenes in this game are just these boring talking head things. They're either like the ones where it's trying to be super dramatic, like where a Funko Pop Tifa runs in to like do a Cosmo Breaker or whatever the fuck that special move was. I don't remember. I won't remember, and if you tell me the answer, I'll forget it. But then in the middle of like a totally needless scene, they actually have Anime Teen Girl like climbing up on shit and running around and like dynamic camera angles and everything that they had not like used at all in this game. And you're just like, whoa,
That was
actual
a totally,
effort went into making this actually fun to watch.
like, guest director moment or something.
Yeah, like it was like somebody came in and said, you know what, I care today. And that counts for a lot. And I just have seen so little of it in this game. And it, like, seeing that glimpse of it made me go, oh man, was this game good? And then you're like, no, it wasn't. But it could have been. That hurts. It just hurts.
Did it work?
Yeah, no, that...
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that had to have been, like, the result of probably Nomura or somebody, but, like, he really wanted to have a showdown with a cactuar and went all out for it.
It sounds like
Yeah, it was like this was the one part they were really looking forward to making.
Thing is,
like, I feel like, again, the biggest, like, you could get by with a lot of lower budget presentation if the game hadn't kneecapped its own, like, selling point. Like, the elevator pitch for this game is obviously, like, all the Final Fantasy characters are in the same game, and then, like, they might as well not be.
Yeah, it's like you barely see them. And when you do, it's like it's the Crib Notes version.
Don't worry, your character can cosplay us.
Yeah, pants must be serious.
Yeah, well,
business.
again, I feel like
He won't
what,
be saying anything or doing anything.
Prefix is
it
pants.
seems like what they were going for here was a sort of
Not those pants.
getting everybody on the
As in
same
all. Like
page,
they do
like
a little
without
of
having to
everything.
play
Oh,
40 hours
well,
of
if they
Final
do a little
Fantasy
of
IV.
everything, then
Here's
maybe they
Rydia,
could
and you
do a little
basically
of
get her
helping us get down to
rundown.
Sunken
But
Temple.
divorced
Let's
from
hit
the
the pants.
context, it just kind of like,
Wait, Lon!
honestly, like when you take Cloud out of Final Fantasy VII, he's just kind of a forgettable dude.
Like, when you play this game, if, like, you played this as a substitute for playing Final Fantasy, you would come to the conclusion that all the Final Fantasy characters are really boring.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
like, that's a huge problem.
And also, they're not particularly heroic. They just kind of show up, say a few things, and leave.
Like, there's not enough room for them to even really display what makes their characters memorable.
And now, speaking of characters that I don't know anything about,
will surely end in success.
Oh man, did we finally get to him?
This is an FF11
Jimmy?
character, isn't it?
It's my favorite Final
Yeah,
Fantasy.
this is an FF11 character, Shantoto. She's
So those don't count.
in Dissidia.
I was going to
The only
say
reason I
she's
know about
featured in
her.
the city,
It's
and
one of
that's
those
how I
things
know
with
about
the
her.
it's one of those
Yeah.
things. It's like,
Who goes there?
I mean, I guess he or she's just normal person sized, but like,
Yeah, that makes it even weirder.
She's
She's
nice
like a,
people things.
So tell me,
they're
are you
called
the
Taru Taru, I
person from
think,
the ad?
something like that.
Yes. That's the gist.
But
But yeah,
Wait,
like
could you repeat that?
Taru Taru.
Okay, like I'm assuming that's the Japanese name because that's definitely not in English.
Yes.
Both their names. Like they didn't
Oh, okay.
change the name when they translated it. They just
Oh, okay,
Maybe
so
Maybe some magic
so I would call them Taru Tarus then.
yes.
All right, cool.
But like Shantoto is the character that usually appears in crossovers like the FF11 representative, but none of the crossovers I've ever played has been capable of expressing what the hell her character is supposed to be, so I still have no idea, despite having played multiple Dissidia games.
Her thing seems to be, and anybody who's
Hang
played
on.
Final Fantasy
You
XI,
can handle a
please
little
shut,
certain regret.
stop in the chat.
I
or
beg
something.
of you.
If you know a
But
solution,
yeah,
then
but I
we'd
mean,
really
from
appreciate
my
if you could
understanding of
help us
Dissidia,
out.
is she seems to be
So
one of
come on,
those like
Please?
1,000-year-old
Well, if you're quite
like
certain that that is your
teacher
desire,
types who is continually
Perhaps it's just
basically
what I require.
like
Excuse me?
killing her students.
Excellent. We'll
Like
start
it's kind of
That
like
seems
I've got an idea.
That
Drink
seems like
this.
a really dark turn for what's obviously a tiny mole person.
Yeah, no, I think there's actually a bit in Final Fantasy XI where she literally becomes like a bad guy or something. Like one of
Seems
the
like
quests.
odd choice.
I think she was labeled as a villain in Dissidia 1 anyway.
What did you do to him?
No, I think it was Dissidia. Well, Dissidia
Duodecim.
12.
Dissidia Duodecim, as it was called.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm not like gonna say that there's not like you know some intrinsic value in like making the Q character the actual world-ending bad guy. That can be a fun subversion, but like you know, you gotta work with it.
yeah, and apparently they're going into that direction here because
Yeah,
she just choked a dude to death. And now we're gonna
Oh
fight.
yeah, I was actually alt tapped out. I missed that.
So, the most fucked up thing, I guess, about this is still just the fact that, like, she was like a tiny squat person from the word go, so her size didn't actually change that much. Her head just got big.
Okay, Zeph says that as far as he knows, she wasn't villainous in Dissidia. She was Gabaranth. I hope I
The
pronounced
brand
that right.
counterpart.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because they had one Final Fantasy XI who was a good guy, one Final Fantasy 12 who was a bad guy.
Okay.
Yes, Terrible. I believe she is the same size as the human Funkos. They are all one Funko size fits all.
I got this.
Yeah, which really just makes her proportions even weirder, but
Yeah,
like,
her proportions were
man,
weird to begin with. They're still weird. That nothing, ain't shit changed.
it just makes it weirder overall. But man, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I had to go through Dissidia Duodecim's plot for reasons, and it was a miserable experience. So
Oh,
I don't blame myself for having forgotten it.
I hate to say it, but it was. Oh yeah, this is obviously a battle we can't win. Hooray! Yep.
Unimprisonable.
Oh man.
Whenever
One of
they do that
those.
HP unknown thing, it's just like, all right, I know where we're going with this.
Game over.
I mean, like it's always better when they just kill you outright for those things.
This is like,
Like-
Or
I
even
think
just like
this is
end
the
the battle
fourth time in
without
the
killing
game
it.
this has happened.
That's
It doesn't
not
happen.
that's overdoing it.
you're not
It's like
allowed
how
to win against Final Fantasies.
like okay, here's like a story I'll always remember. You know, Skies of Arcadia. You guys talked about that yet last time?
Yes.
Of course, y'all do. There are two fights against bad guy Ramirez that are fights against Ramirez. He's the bad guy, right? Two of them are unwinnable, and you can choose to surrender them or choose not to, you can choose not to do
Go
them.
down
And if you
fighting.
do pick them, you'll just get curb stomped. But my sister really liked leveling up. She had Vice at level 99 halfway through the game.
What the fuck?
So Oh wow, she's drowning. That's
Yeah, this is
that's
just the
hardcore,
Oxyale.
Don't
shit
worry, this
from-
is an Ava reference, and I choose to see it as such.
Okay, well then,
Okay.
never mind. I hate it. I thought it was hardcore for a second. Now I just hate it.
Oh, you've decided.
My
If you
favorite-
tell me it's a
Well,
if you tell me it's a sphere reference, though, I'll suddenly be back on board.
Oh, possible.
My favorite, like, supposed to be unwinnable fight I've ever seen in a game is still in Tales of Destiny. Like, oh hey Titus, you're gonna be here for like 7 minutes. My favorite supposed to be unwinnable fight in a RPG is still probably the
Abyss. Sorry, not sphere. The Abyss. There's different movies about
the Abyss. Yeah. So like, my personal favorite is still the Leon fight early on in Tales of Destiny. He is ridiculously strong. You're absolutely not supposed to win. If you're grotesquely overleveled, you can, and it gives you a bizarre, like, joke ending where it just says, and then your characters went off and became, like, the greatest treasure hunters ever.
Okay. That's fucking dope.
And that's it. That's roll credits. Game over.
Isn't it one of the Lufias has one of those, like, supposed to be
check it
unwinnable
out.
battles, but they
We're in the
accounted
ocean
for
and
if you
we're
win it?
actually breathing.
Trying to remember.
Get
Like against
close
demons
not-
or something?
I'm not
Don't you
super
worry.
versed in Lufia. I
I've
played
been to
Lufia 2
Temple a
once
bunch of
and
times.
was like, this is kind of neat, and I get why people love it, but it's not really fully my thing. And that's all I know about Lufia.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember exactly what
Just
it
a minute.
was.
Does this mean we can't return to Redwood Hills?
I think I played that one, the Game Boy version of that one, and I didn't like
You know,
it.
you could breathe underwater too.
There's no Game Boy version
Don't go
of
confusing me with your
Lufia that isn't just
average mortal.
Lufia.
Okay, but
Yeah,
then
it's like
why didn't you
Lufia
just go
3
to
or
the
4,
temple for us?
technically.
Yeah, that would be Lufia 3 on Game. Lufia 3 on Game Boy Advance, I think.
He is crawling with the mirage of mirages.
Like, all I know was that it apparently, like, the other versions have, like, fully animated cutscenes
Oh
and
no, wait,
stuff, but,
Lufia
like, a lot
4 is Game Boy.
So, did you mean it?
But,
when you said
like,
that we
the
could go back
version
to
I
Redwood
played was
Hills?
honestly just very generic, and
Just immune to
for
Lufia
a
1
while
and 2
you
do
had...
not have
Magic
impressive
and other
cutscenes, so I'm
mystical
gonna put that out there.
manipulations. So,
But I remember that I am, at one point, the level, like,
Goodness.
10 million badass joins your party, and I was on a plane ride that was, like, 8 hours long,
Let's just
so
race
I
them
literally
up to
just
something
grinded
simple.
up the main character at, like, level 90, because he was with the guy who literally could not die and killed everything with one hit.
Dr. Shantoni
So I
gave me
just,
the
you know,
antidote to the
abused
curse.
that to get super stupid high level, then breezed through the rest of the game, and I wasn't super impressed.
That sounds miserable.
Dude,
I was a 8-hour plane ride, dude. What else was I
I
gonna
was about to say,
do?
where were you flying?
First, we've heard of that.
I think Australia.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Planning on fixing us up.
See.
sorta. You see,
I'm impressed at, like, the capacity of the Funko's, like, tiny limbs to propel them through water this edition.
So good luck.
I mean, I do not even want to understand the buoyancy thing that's going on here.
I feel like they should just float to the top.
loser. Longest the loser here.
Also,
You're mad
I
about
like
my name calling?
Titus's, whatever, involvement here. Just brings to mind how absurd it was in Final Fantasy X, how everybody could just really hold their breath well.
My favorite dumb thing that happened was, like, I can't remember if it's shown in the beginning of F10-2.
It's the preview video thing.
Yeah, the
I know what you're about to
Pro- Your Yuna is just practicing holding her breath for 20
They
minutes.
say she only sheds one tear every decade.
I mean, like,
The rubies go for
he,
at
he,
least
he,
100
he,
million
plays Drown Ball for a living.
100
No, I'm
million.
saying Yuna is doing
I
it.
swear, that is the last time I
Just
ever
as
All the
saw
cool
that.
kids, all
You
the
can
cool
learn.
kids, like, you know, she just plays
Yeah,
like
like,
amateur,
not-
just like, you know,
not
doesn't
some-
know Drown Ball.
This is not just you can't, like, you can play Blitzball in FF10-2 and it's like one of the 3 things in the
I'll tell
game
you about it
that
some
has
other time.
nothing to do with your completion percentage. But yeah, it's just weird because, like, she can't swim or really hold her breath in FF10, and she's just spent the last, like, 2 years like, what if I practice holding my breath for 20 minutes? Like, there's not magic that does this. It's just, oh, you just keep working at it, eat
Just
right.
a world with people with incredible lungs.
Super duper lung capacity.
Which also raises the question of, like, I'm trying to think, were there any points in Final Fantasy X where your
Hey,
party got,
there
like,
it is.
gassed or something? Because I kind of want to say there was, wasn't there? Like
It
at
might
least,
have been. It's been a few years.
possibly when the Albed are attacking or something. Because come on, guys.
I think they would just sort of beat Tidus over the head during that.
Fair.
I'm gonna say something positive about the game right now. I do like the visual imagery of you like slowly approaching this gigantic undersea city. That's really cool.
I'll be waiting back.
Darling, it's
That gets points for me. That captured the attention of the coveted beat demographic.
Also, I'd like to point out that Titus just hung out with us for a swim and is now he's like, well, gotta go back to my home planet.
Yeah, I got my home planet.
Why were you here?
Oh, I like your style, Tama.
That just makes me angry.
Watch your zillion rubies.
Why did you even bother?
Say it again. Don't forget why we're here.
Oh.
Did you just want to give James Arnold Taylor a paycheck?
Didn't even hear it. Could have just been, you know, somebody
James
imitating.
I
Arnold
didn't
Taylor
even
works hard.
listen,
He
so I
deserves that
don't
paycheck.
know.
Rubies.
I didn't even hear him, so I don't know if they did. I love to walk underwater. It's very efficient.
That
It's a
was
very
super cool.
efficient means of travel.
Particularly when dealing with a gigantic temple.
Yeah.
Like, these stairs, why float up the stairs? You walk.
Rubies. Baby.
Okay, as
You're
somebody who had
original.
scuba diving is stupid cool, but it also is extremely frustrating because if you tilt your head ever so slightly the wrong way, you're just going to be miserable.
Zeph, I also missed the dialogue, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, the point was that they were inhaling.
Yeah, Zeph, we got
oxygen.
our feet muted, and like reading is for squares. Turns out.
Shouldn't we be floating?
And now,
The Shantoto put them
Funko
under a
Pop.
curse. They can breathe underwater.
Kind of special to power.
That's
My favorite
exactly
trick.
Don't ask
how it
me
works.
how it works.
shouldn't we be
But
floating?
it's some kind of force that keeps people and mirages
Oh, don't
from
worry,
drifting
magic
too
means
far
that you
away.
have to walk because
Yeah, I was about to
someone
say-
magic.
Right.
A wizard said, "Fuck off, you walk."
But on the bright side, it's
I want
just
you to
as
track
good
in
as
whatever
something
shits on your
else.
shoes.
That's especially the helpful for you two, right?
Yeah, I gotta say, this has
This
to,
is just
like,
the
if we're
wild
going to
west
overanalyze this, the walking underwater has gotta feel weird.
In
So
some
like,
areas,
here's the
walls are
thing: is that
on the
overanalysis is usually a symptom that the story has not gripped you enough, and you're just thinking about things that you shouldn't.
I mean, it can be the opposite way, but yeah, no, very rarely.
Oh lord, this dungeon's gonna be nuts.
Or it could be if it was deciding to be. Oh, you can only walk on moss. I thought that it was a symptom of being
Let's
underwater.
begin.
Just walk on anything, but no, it's just moss, I guess.
And our opponents are sharks, which may or may not be another callback to Final Fantasy 1.
Again, there are so many like opportunities for this to be awesome, but it never somehow it never gets there.
This Gigantor is taking in more water than it should be the entire year. This poor thing's gonna die.
Poor little dude. Poor giant dude.
My
Poor big
precious
boy.
son.
Gigantor.
Gigantor, the space-saved character.
Oh, and incidentally, while I was randomly leveling up, I got a new ability for one of these dorks. One moment.
Dorkpedo.
We got the ability Subdue. Inflict non-lethal neutral physical damage.
That seems really useful, actually.
It will, in a game where you want to reduce your enemy's HP but not actually kill them, like, this is game changer.
A godsend, Brittany.
Which incidentally, in the Let's Play, it was suggested that I teach my character some gravity spells, and that is brilliant, except apparently there isn't any way to do that.
Why?
Because this game is a jerk. Some characters or some things have gravity spells, but not like how I'm adding like extra strength and whatever to things. So whatever, man.
Spent my grinded to level 99 in Pokemon to finally teach my Pokemon the ultimate attack, False Swipe.
This is exactly what this is. Am I going to kill it if I use a fire spell? I guess probably. But maybe we can... Yep, it did.
Oh yeah!
Just appreciating the wiggle.
Yes, I'm
The
glad to have a
Cactuar.
mature Tonberry and a Cactuar on the team.
The Cactuar is just like healing myself.
Excuse me, Gigantuar.
I'm pretty sure ninjas
Listen,
are supposed
a
to be
Gigantuar
quiet.
is a subtype
Remember
of
why
cat.
we're here.
It is still just a Cactuar in spirit.
It's a big Cactuar. I really hope
Big
they zip
Cat Car
around,
with
just like
high
them,
quality
just like the little
No,
ones.
it was something about
They
a
do.
key.
It could be cooler than Moss.
Penguins?
Yeah, I do like penguins. They're pretty good. These are low quality penguins, so I don't like them.
Well, that's
We
disappointing.
expect better penguins. We expect higher quality penguins.
Neither of these fuckers are never going to be able to be a successful Linux mascot.
It's pronounced fuckets when you're referring to penguins.
Oh, also, I have to point out with the Gigantoire, which I didn't hear during the actual stream, but did during the break period or whatever. It makes a T-Rex noise every time it attacks, and that is amazing.
That's beautiful.
It's what we all want in our lives.
True fact, we don't know what T-Rexes sound like.
It makes
we
what
know
I
what we
presume
think
to
they
be a
are.
T-Rex noise.
We do have, like, you know,
We know what they
a
are.
close enough noise that we use in all media, which is fine.
Yes, there you go.
Not thinking about Primal. Dude, fanboy, you've got to watch new episodes with me. They rule.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta tell me when.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow's good.
I should be up and tomorrow.
Well, that was
Yeah.
complicated.
It's over. Inside your command.
I'm going to capture a shark.
It's power.
I said I'm going to capture a shark.
Bigger than big, stronger than strong.
Yeah, this thing's asleep and it has 1 HP, and it took like 3 different attempts to capture it, which is not at all annoying.
Good job.
Ready to fight for against Rome.
It's a shark with camo. I'm gonna name you Hot Topic.
It's a fantastic name for a shark with camo.
I just don't understand why it's wearing camo in a place it shouldn't be wearing camo.
It's wearing the wrong type of camo.
Yeah, incidentally, in going through the Coliseum area while on the
it was
break,
something about a
apparently like
key.
half of every monster is vulnerable to the water elemental, which is kind of amusing. But it seems to be a weird catch-all. Like, the vampires were weak to water, apparently.
I mean, yeah. Turns out almost everything is weak to water if you just put its head underneath it and don't let it come out.
This is true.
Except fish.
Well, except about Titus, as we've covered.
I won't hold back.
Right, let's
Titus,
do this.
fish shaped like Titus.
No trouble at all.
Yeah. Further things. I do like, one thing I appreciate about this game is apparently whenever you capture a new monster, it is level 1, but they do level up pretty quickly. So that does make it easy to swap things in and out and what have you. So congratulations, World of Final Fantasy, you're doing one thing right. Although I can see how this dungeon is going to confuse the hell out of me. And I got confused in just a train graveyard, so we're in
Right,
for a bad
let's do
time.
this.
Here we go.
I'm ready to fight. I don't know what I'm ready to fight.
All right.
Victory.
What's everybody playing that isn't Final Fantasy? Remember when you were talking
Nothing
about Mario
good.
64? Good times.
Yeah. And then I started playing Mario Sunshine. That hurt.
How's Sunshine working out?
Much less fun.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Not sure if you know.
I've said it before.
So
I
it's a
mean,
good game that made some bad choices.
there are just a lot of parts of Mario Sunshine where it's like, in order to progress, you must do the least fun thing ever.
You know what's fun? Things that aren't.
Would you like to move some fruit around?
Here's a blue coin for it. Hope you had fun. There's so much in that game that just feels like it was added because it's like, oh man, we're not going to have as many shiny stars. We need to add more content so it doesn't look like we made a smaller game.
But even like
Coin challenge.
like the bits where you're being thrown around by like piñatas or whatever the heck they're called, like
A chuckster.
yeah, the chucksters. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like,
This guy's
was that,
brutal.
did anybody try that beforehand or think maybe this is a bad idea?
Hey, check
I'm
out
not
these
sure
big
if chucksters or the
statues.
pachinko
Neat.
one are
Was
worse.
each of these a famous quacho?
I mean, the chucksters at least come with,
They
you
all
know,
look the
random
same to
dialogue
me.
every step of the
I
way,
know.
and it's like, shut up.
They just say, I'm a chuckster.
But the pachinko
The Pachinko one is by far the worst thing in the entire game.
is
That's
really
saying some
impressive.
serious shit, because there are some
Let's
bad
go.
choices in that game. But that one is just clearly unfinished.
All of the blue coin shines, like I knew you, like I'd never actually gotten all the shines before. I knew you had to get, you needed to get all the blue coins to buy all the shines that they're worth, but I didn't realize they had also padded out every level by making it so that every level has a shine for getting all the blue coins, even though there's no checklist and they don't all appear in the same levels.
Yeah, wait, what? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, apparently that's why I still have missing shines on those levels, and it's destroying me.
I did not know it was even worse than I thought.
So yeah, like honestly, shine numbers are almost completely immaterial to how that game is structured, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's no like minimum number of shines to beat the game. You just have to beat all the water Marios.
Yeah, you have to beat all the fake Marios, and that ends the game.
So the total number of shines is totally irrelevant.
And it's off. But don't worry, here's a previous shine, except with a timer and red coins to collect. Last, like, I was doing the haunted, like, hotel, and, like, that was kind of a cool level, except for that first shine that sucks, but also the last
I
shine.
was about to say
it's
the
just
first
like-
one.
The first shine sucks, although they made it a little easier in the PAL version, which is based off of. But the first shine sucks, and then the last shine is you go into the level, and then it's like hit this button. Okay, we've scattered 8 red coins around the level. You find them. You have 5 minutes, and that's miserable.
And if you fail, you die.
Yeah, I love it. Mario just keels over. And
He just cannot deal with the shame of not having found the red coin.
Listen, resetting the level would be difficult, so we're not going to just let you hit the button and start trying again. No, you have to. I mean, you need to run through the whole death, jump back in the level where you belong.
Oh yeah, that was one of those Mario games.
Let's see. What else have I been playing? It's like a go-to-sleep game. I was playing one of the Assassin's Creed games. They're very good for being something that you play and don't think about too much. But of course, I'm broken, so I've been thinking about how Assassin's Creed might have the worst writing in any video game.
And how do you explain that one? Because legitimately, I played the first Assassin's Creed, and then they literally came out too fast for me to keep track of them.
So, like, the one I was playing, like, I picked up when it was on sale, like, the Rebel Collection on Switch, because that's the one that has the pirate ones in it. So it's like, oh, I like boat, I like pirate, I'll do that. And, like, the thing about that period is that this is about 7 games in.
I know.
And
Everywhere.
one, that is when the games became obviously a cry for help from their developers. Like, the evil company that
I guess we're
is
doing
trying
this.
that is like a front for the Knights Templar because of stupid lore bullshit. Like, the evil company is really specifically and obviously Ubisoft.
I was about to say they start calling them Ubisoft.
They're called, their name is Abstergo, but they're so specifically Ubisoft in like a really unsettling fashion that it's like, this game is a cry for help. All of them have officially become cries for help.
Has it been the holding
But,
its breath?
like,
Please don't ask
so at that point, they
questions.
realized that they were going to be making these games forever, which was a problem because in the first couple games, they were like, oh, these are building up to something. And then they realized they didn't want them to build up to something. So they built up to something that something would happen and they would stop making it. So they hastily stopped building up to something and then made a bunch of games where nothing happens. And that forces them to rely on what had previously been like the plots of the past games, and the past was always, and then the assassins fought the Knights Templar, and the assassins won eventually, and that just happens over and over. None of those plots have any sort of emotional stakes, but the way they're told is also confusing and fragmented in such a way as that you can't invest in any of the characters, because none of them, like, every time they do something, like, it's just going to jump forward like 3 years, and suddenly they're basically a different person again. So it's just really bad in every way that's possible. And so, like, I've been playing this one, and this one's shitty because it's like, Ubisoft also developed like this weird galaxy-brained idea that like, well, people like villains that are redeemable and have sympathetic motives, so we need to make the Knights Templar have a sympathetic motive, even though we already gave their stated goal as brainwash the entire goddamn planet.
I mean, that's super sympathetic. I totally empathize with that.
So it's like, oh, they need to brainwash the entire fucking planet in order to make sure that people stop killing each other, and they're going to kill anyone in their way to do that. So like that
sounds like they missed the plot a little bit there.
Like it's awful. It's incredibly stupid. But it's like, this is the one where it's like, oh, you're playing as an assassin who becomes a Templar, so he like accidentally. I'm going to describe this as glibly as possible, and you're going to have to live with that. Your character accidentally starts an earthquake machine that kills 100,000 people in Lisbon in a real-life earthquake from 1755, and then comes back.
That seems like a bridge too far.
Except
I know that their like whole thing is, oh, you're killing historical figures, but come on, really, an earthquake machine?
But isn't that exactly how Season 1 of Arrow ended?
That is exactly how Season 1 of Arrow ended.
That sucks too, but also, yeah, so you accidentally start an earthquake machine, and then your character spends 3 months sailing back from Portugal to the United States, and then comes in hollering at his like commanding officer, being like, why the fuck did you make me do that? I just killed 100,000 people, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he just kills all of his compatriots. And then at the end he starts the French Revolution by killing a random dude.
Oh, well, of course the French Revolution was caused by the death of one random dude.
Let them eat cake.
It's impossible to describe. Oh man! And then they made like a game about the French Revolution that has almost nothing to do with the French Revolution, but it has a pro-royalist slant anyway. It's incredible.
What?
That is weird.
That's
it was the
point
fucking
by
French
a wide
Revolution.
margin.
It's hard to like. If you're with, okay, I have actually been to France and I have seen the French Palace of Versailles.
Yeah.
You walk through it and you're like, wow, this is an incredible architectural feat. Also, I totally see why they cut this dude's head off, because holy shit.
Imagine wasting all this time, money, and resources just for something one guy would get to have.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's, you walk through that place and it is a object lesson, and oh yeah, this dude absolutely had to die.
Yeah, it's incredible how bad the story is. Like, it's a fractal of terrible storytelling. Like, no matter, you can look at it from every angle and you will find new flaws. It's absolutely dreadful. Like, it is uninteresting, but when you force yourself to look into what's happening, you're just sort of disgusted by it. And it's like, there's a reason that, like, I mostly am just sort of running around and, like, checking off the open world checkboxes because that's relaxing and that's what I wanted. But at the same time, anytime I'm paying attention to what anyone's saying or doing, it's like, this is just stupid.
Look out, you might start the French Revolution.
Oh no, I got to the end. I'm gonna start the French Revolution. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, my personal recommendation is that if you want to ride around in a pirate ship and not pay attention to what anyone's saying, the Assassin's Creed 4 is pretty okay. You can probably miss most of the rest of them. I might eventually do the Assassin's Creed 4 DLC Freedom's Cry, which is like the least head-ass sounding concept. Because Freedom's Cry's gimmick was that you were like it was like the one, there have been like 3 or 4 times where they've allowed you to play as a woman or a minority, and in this case you were playing as like an escaped slave, and like you get a pirate ship and you start like blowing up slaver vessels, so that one might be
Okay, that sounds cool.
That's pretty badass.
Unless it turns out just like Bioshock Infinite, where like maybe blowing up the slaver vessels was the real cry.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it never gets that head-ass.
Thank God.
It's hard to be that stupid, but video game developers have found a way in the past.
Ubisoft would be the company I would most expect to get that Galaxy frame, but I don't think that Freedom's Cry does that. So I might eventually play that one. Rogue has been like this like when it's not just being abjectly stupid, there's been occasional points where it's been stupid in a way that's really funny. My personal favorite has been, so all these games have this thing where it's like your character needs to wander into historical things.
As fun as it is to breathe,
and in this case, there's like a mission where you're like
this place is really
talking to
starting
Benjamin
get
Franklin to help you find the coordinates to what turns out to be the earthquake machine.
Well,
I loved everything in that sentence, by the way.
But like you're doing that, like you need his like knowledge of electricity to help you find the coordinates to the earthquake machine.
Obviously.
And then he's like, "Oh no, the Royal Army has confiscated my electrical rods. Please get them back."
Wait, weren't the electrical rods literally just
rods?
Rods?
Yes. Yes. You still have to get them back. And I'm just completely lost in the idea of like having to do like an open world style mission where you just wander into Ben Franklin. Like the Royal Army has stolen my electric rods.
That's nice.
My
Tell me
rods.
about it another time.
My precious rods. Dumbest shit imaginable. Absolutely beautiful. I wish the entire game was just that stupid shit instead of the rest of the stupid shit that they did.
You know what? This hidden boss or whatever you want to say here is only like 4 levels up on me, so let's see how this goes. Famous last words, I'm sure.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. I can't really recommend it for a multitude of reasons, including like supporting Ubisoft is a dubious decision that's down to the individual.
Yeah, like that's not necessarily a thing you want to do.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna yell at someone for doing it. It's down to them what they.
No, I'm not gonna call you an asshole for buying like the Scott Pilgrim re-release or something.
But it's one of those things where it's like you should probably like it's one of those like millions of caveats they have to apply before like saying anything else about these games. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of having fun. It's not actually terribly good, but I like wandering around historical settings. It somehow is the only game that really does that, so. There have been better ones since. Origins was kind of cool. I don't know why I know so much about these games at this stage. Go play Origins, so you can see a new ship.
So, Zoids are apparently what is hanging out here.
Wait, the fucking early Zero's anime?
From Final Fantasy 1. The Mind Flayers. That look vaguely like Zoidberg.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Zoidberg. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense.
I always loved how naked the knocking off of just the entire D&D monster manual was in FF1, and how many of those monsters got slight redesigns and just kept coming back. What's the... trying to remember the thing that is... I'm trying to remember which ones I'm thinking about that are one of the more, like, you didn't even really redesign this, you just kept using it.
Take this!
Beholder?
No, not just the Beholder, although
That
the Beholder
just
was.
became, what, Aramon or whatever.
Yeah, Airman, like, he just took a Beholder and put wings on it there. Oh, yeah. So I'm thinking about... Oh, this one's really good. Just for the kinds of knocking off appearing. The Koyurl from...
Oh, yes.
That is just a Displacer Beast, but it's also named for a sci-fi reference.
And it kept, like, its main thing being instant death attacks, like, all through the series.
Yeah.
Displacing you.
I love being displaced. Wait, no I don't. It sucks. Wait, Fool's Gold sucks! This is worthless.
I just realized what you were doing, and I appreciate it.
I need to actually watch Truth Point.
It's really fun. It's also really cringy.
I mean, that's
It
kind
is
of the nature of
by
it.
very much by design, and I do love how Edric is the weird tech bro libertarian, whereas Drill's just like your regular libertarian.
I feel like one of my favorite response tweet Drill has ever made. It's like the tweet he's responding to seems to have been worded. But it's just after saying, the start here, of course, is the thing I was referencing. Boy, oh boy, do I love purchasing large amounts of Fool's Gold. Wait a minute, Fool's Gold fucking sucks, this stuff's no good, fuck!
I love that one.
But, like, then someone, I guess, like, asked him, why do you keep buying this? And he just responds, have you ever seen a chunk of Fool's Gold? It's a very alluring substance. I just love, like, anything that's, like, obviously, like, a foolish choice. Like, I love using, like, it's a very alluring flank.
Alrighty, let's go.
Come on, bring
Very alluring substance. So how much side content does this have? I'm
Well,
curious.
I almost started saying it at the beginning, but as I mentioned, I was going through the Coliseum, where
Yeah, you can
basically...
see arena, which is traditional side content.
Yes, which is traditional side content, but it was, like, I don't know how many of those were, and I was pretty much cheating the entire time, because, like, there were some that are like, oh, this is really difficult, and I was like, I'm just going to use a lightning stone and you're going to die. And it still took approximately 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not talking in terms of hours. I just mean like what else does it have? It has the
There's the things you can come back to kill that, like, they are notably, like, higher level than you're supposed to be. And then
did you ever come back to that thing that was right in the beginning of the game?
No, but I keep meaning to do that, but I forget about it every time.
You should do that at the end of this.
And that was like level 20 or something. Like, it really should be...
You're just gonna just destroy it.
Yeah, no, it's well within my grasp now, and again, with the Rampart cheating, I probably could have taken it out then anyway.
Oh, I love Rampart.
Oh yeah, well, that's obvious. Good game.
Yeah.
But then there's that, and then there's the stuff in the room with the girl who forgot her name.
Yeah,
that's just...
Which is just a bunch of random nonsense, so, like, you can play with Titus for a little bit. Or
instead of
forever.
seeing him for 10 minutes and leaving.
Oh, that looks good.
I'm just saying, if at the end of this game there isn't a scene where like 15 Final Fantasy characters are all just hanging out, I feel like it will be one of the most, like, obvious missed opportunities I've ever seen.
I mean, the obvious answer here is that they talk about the League of S, and, like, obviously they're gonna have to bring everybody together for one big battle, right? Like, right?
I mean, that seems like that has to be the end point, but at the same time, like, that also means that you spent an entire game getting to the crossover you want, and then none of them actually get to do anything other than be in the same fight.
I mean, but I kind of would be okay with that, I think? Like, okay is kind
You're
of...
hedging a lot.
Like, I don't know. Oh yeah, since I did my time in the Coliseum, I can now, if I want to, evolve my little original Toasty dude to a full-blown Infrit.
Toasty.
Toasty.
Yeah, there's a reason I chose that name.
When are they going to make the Toasty Man into a fighter in Mortal Kombat?
Dan Forden.
Yeah, just make him a fighter. Oh man. I am aware that you know enough about Mortal Kombat that this might actually be amusing to you. I looked up the website of the guy who was Johnny Cage.
Oh yes.
He has a website. It's incredible.
Is
it has
like...
a theme song. It tries to auto-load a theme song.
It tries?
It does not succeed.
Well, that's just sad.
Let me see if I can find the... Okay. Daniel Pesina, I think his name is?
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. He was Johnny Cage, and he was the guy in the ninja suit. Let me see if I can find...
Was he also... No, his brother was Raiden.
That sounds accurate, but
I think it's like Carlos, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which is like exactly what you expect a Chinese-Japanese god to be, but here you are.
So he has a website called masterpacina.com.
Of course.
Okay.
And it has, at the top, you will see that it like loads up a bad media player that never starts playing until you force it to, that loads a song in what looks like a quick time window that just says Master Pacina theme song.
Is it just
And then,
Master Pacina theme song?
no, it's exactly what you think when you hear of like guy who teaches martial arts at the mall.
Oh.
But he has seminars. He has he has classes and a student portal, and neither of those links go anywhere. You can't even click them. But there's like a space for them. And he also has products, and this is like my favorite bit because it links to like his eBay store of just like pictures of him dressed as Johnny Cage printed on his shirt.
What? Like, and does he legally mention Johnny Cage at any point?
I don't think so. It's just him dressed as... It's just him in sunglasses. It could be anyone. Legally distinct. Okay, to enter my eBay page, click here. Okay, so we've got a Master Pacina original Sub-Zero 11x17 glossy autographed. And then this bootleg ass looking Scorpion doll, which also comes with an autograph.
Do you suppose he made the Scorpion doll himself?
I hope so. It also comes with the word friendship.
Aw. Just like the thing in the game.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't seem like the worst guy, but it is like one of the most like incredible websites I've ever seen.
God.
And yeah, it also links to Chicago Wushu, Chicago's premier place to learn Kung Fu and Tai Chi. So yeah.
So he's theoretically operating out of Chicago would make the most sense.
I mean, he would have been a local Chicago actor back when, so...
I need to look that up next time I'm in Chicago for inevitable Pokemon shenanigans. See if we can find Johnny Cage.
Huh?
Okay, after playing with menus, we're back on track for chasing penguins, apparently.
Who doesn't love...
He cats! Foul tonberries. First they go and steal our precious
Beat that
tea.
too.
Now they have
Okay,
the
so
gall to
apparently
summon
what
a
we're
king.
going to wind up doing
They must be
is
desperate
dealing
to take
with
this realm
sexy
away from me.
lady penguin.
Really don't like the implications of that. Oh,
Say, who
Jesus,
goes
what?
Oh? Not just a human, but a lady giant? How very unusual. Come
Who
now.
Like-
goes?
Lady Giant
I don't-
simply must.
Please tell me this is something that maybe happens in Final Fantasy XI, just because
Is she
out
the
of
queen?
nowhere we're going to have Queen of the Penguins lady,
Sure, that makes sense.
and she apparently is going to be one of those like Amazon I hate men characters.
I mean, if I was the Penguin Queen of the Amazon, I'd hate men.
Well, I feel like Penguin should.
Wait, I said the Amazon, not as in like
Me?
as in the river.
Yeah, that seems off.
That's even better. The Penguin Queen of the Amazon, who is also an Amazon. The Amazon Penguin Queen of the Amazon.
You know, speaking of
Fucking
magic
awesome.
working underwater, this is the fact that you can use lightning spells. Seems like a pretty bad thing, but whatever.
I mean, can you use fire spells?
Oh, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, but fire spells are going to conduct and instantly murder you. Just might make some steam.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so we got the Quattro Queen memento, which means inevitably I can evolve a penguin into a lady penguin.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get it.
God. Into the darkness.
Forever.
And now we've made it cry. This is like full-blown whatever was happening in anime that made these things happen.
This is just baffling for a number of reasons. I don't know why this happened.
I mean, again, like, I really
feel
want
like I just
somebody to say, oh,
the
this is a
3-year-old's
character from
birthday
Final
party.
Fantasy XI or
Well,
something,
cheer
because
up.
that's
At
the
least
only
now
explanation
we
for
can
why
go
we
home
wanted to
whenever we want
insert
to.
random
But we need to
penguin
track
queen
down
in
that
here.
key. Otherwise,
That's
why
like,
would we come
there's
to
nothing
here?
Final Fantasy
That's
about that
true.
as far as I can
But we know
remember.
where it is. Remember, the queen said that the Tomberry stole the key.
Aha! So it is down here in the
Just
temple.
I have no idea why.
Seems
Like,
that way.
even if this came from something else, it just doesn't
Let's try
have
those
any
others.
distinctive
And hope they
thumbprint.
still
It could have
have
come
it.
from any game.
And also now we're gonna fight a Tonberry King, so that's good.
I like that.
That's
I like-
something.
I hope that it pokes you and then you get a giant work balloon that says doink.
Doink. And hopefully that means also I'll be able to evolve my Tonberry into a Tonberry King. So I'll have a Tonberry King
You
and
have
a
like a tiny
Gigantor.
crown.
And
It'll be
then,
the
like-
best parts of FF8 all rolled in one.
Exactly. Like,
Oh wait, it'll still be missing the Doom tray.
oh, you gotta bring that up.
I love Doom tray.
What have I got in little? I've got Audrey there. Maybe I'll no, I really do like 420 Blaze it. This is difficult because I wind up really liking certain Pokemon. I guess I'll trade
I
out my
mean, like,
Tonberry temporarily for
That
Gilgamesh.
seems like the thing that is most successful in this product.
Yes, no, without a doubt, in all honesty. I mean, like, I think I like my Gigantor more than I like many people in my life.
That's understandable. Gigantor has never been anything but a friend.
Yes, exactly. Like, I could not see there being a problem with Gigantor.
Is that?
That brings up
Queen?
that scene felt more like a Disgaea scene, and I kind of see where they're coming from.
Do you think she's going after those Tonberries she mentioned?
Oh, Lordy Blue, what is this?
Is somebody linking to a Penguin Queen that makes some goddamn sense?
Better to kill her.
No. No one has done that. I promise I'd have let you know.
I'm getting dizzy.
I've lost all the sense of direction.
I can't believe that there's not a single big selection.
No, you haven't.
Oh, no, that is not true.
There was one?
There wasn't, but you can pick up these
There might
random
yet be.
items that old journalist notes. Where is it this? Like some of them? Okay. Personal postings, maybe? No.
The fact that you're having to look this hard means
Oh,
it's not
a cult
enough.
fan. A cult fan. See,
Oh,
they
that's
talk
an
about
FF8 show.
cult fan, blah blah. There's only one way, so he shoved off to find the truth. Treasure. Someone tried to encounter. First connection. Yeah, that was when my traveling companion Wedge cut in. And reporting by Biggs.
There really wasn't nearly enough of them.
Theoretically, we've got Biggs and Wedge and their newspaper reporters or something.
This is like how FF1 remakes try to retcon Sid into the continuity by
God,
saying,
yes.
"Oh, airships were made by Sid many years ago."
I don't think
He's
I'm
a bat
moving
now,
forward
baby.
anymore.
Of course you're not moving forward. You're moving straight down.
I mean, it would have been kind of cool if, rather than that, they just randomly, like, had some NPC just start shouting, "I'm Sid,"
place is
out of
starting to look
nowhere.
less and
And be
less
like,
I
"Look, he's
would
in
be-
this game."
Is it still
Yeah.
romance?
Maybe we
Final Fantasy, World of Final Fantasy. It's not that you're a bad
Let's
son,
make
but you're a
this go.
deeply
It's
disappointed son.
Well, in this case, they've taken... Like, we had this really cool undersea temple thing going on. And then there's an underground area to the undersea temple, and it's the most nondescript thing I've seen in this game yet.
Basically, just a textured tube.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a textured tube. And I'm not certain
love
what the
it.
thinking is on that, but we got a tube. Like, they blew the dungeon budget on the moss from the previous area.
Yes,
Oh,
that must be it.
the stimulus will kill him. We need to get this simpler.
Like, the whole underwater approach to a giant temple, like, that was it. We can't do that again. We were gonna have a marching band in this area, but they're too
let's go.
expensive.
Come on, bring it!
Gotta cut costs.
Although it is nice that we're underwater and there's apparently, like, we're going... This is Convery Town or something.
Starberry Town.
This is Tumberries.
I mean, logically, these dudes that carry around lanterns are going to be someplace dark, right? Boop-a-doop-a-doop-boop-boo. And there's another save point, so this battle will probably be more difficult than the stupid penguin lady. I want to point out also, like, does anybody know what's on the clock at the immediate moment? Like, how long this has been going on? Because this chapter seems unusually long.
This feat is endless.
This has been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, and we're still on the same
About more than an hour, probably close to an hour and a half at this point.
The game was doing so well with having like 40 minutes to an hour for levels, and this one I didn't even get lost on. So I'm holding this as like against it. Boo boo.
So,
Tonberry fights are sometimes
that's
difficult.
for an hour and 18 by
All right.
I may have-
things happen.
Quachos!
I may have to duck out in an hour-ish. You keep that in your calculations if you care.
Yeah, no, I mean like 2 chapters would be good for tonight. That should be fine.
Tonberry? Get the ring!
Did we hit a second chapter?
I mean, this is like have to assume this is the end of this chapter because we're
It better
fighting a
be.
giant Tonberry.
Dude, even his
I just feel like you're being
up.
optimistic if you think we'll have another chapter done
Wrong
in
end
an
of
hour,
that thing. Yeah, or any the end of it.
based on the way they've been trending. That is the regalest of Tonberries.
Yes, no, he's very classy.
There's a part of me, like, that's very cute, but also I kind of miss the raw simplicity of FF8's Tonberry King that just had, like, a really shitty low-poly crown just floating above him.
He's just big.
He's mostly just big.
He's a large boy.
Alright. So apparently he's weak to thunder. I'm just going to lightning.
Rolling Thunder. Gut trash.
Oh, he's like falling over. Oh wait,
Poor
I
boy.
can use Gilgamesh's ability, whatever that does. Probably nothing.
Gilgamesh.
Let's get this started.
Goggle Bob.
Oh, it's the same ability he had in the fight we had with him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Hopefully he chooses the right sword.
Come on, Excalibur.
He did!
Oh, now you're
Excalibur.
Oh, that's not Excalibur.
I wonder if that's the only appearance of Excalibur in this game ever.
Predictable.
That would be weird. That's Tonberries or the Tonberry Knights, level 15. They wield lightsabers and jump around like Yoda. Yeah.
Yay! We did it! The last key!
Yay, we got all the keys, and now we can do whatever
Hey,
we do
you
with
okay?
that.
I'm sorry about before.
I am, for all its faults, an
I never
FF15.
commanded the man thing to rescue me. So,
Sorry about that.
15's cool.
wants thanks. Well then, it's got another thing coming.
Oh, Jesus.
There's gotta be some kind of shark lady. She's reminding me of something.
Take the blasted key!
She's reminding me of like 15 bad anime.
Well, yes, there's definitely
Number one on
that.
that list is Blue Sub number 6,
All's well that ends well.
She's a
Wow. That's a
tsundere?
specific one.
I don't know.
which somehow showed up on Toonami with all the titties airbrushed out. Super
They,
weird when I
they
rented it
did that
later.
a few times. I'll never get over the fact that they had like. Well, I'll never get over how funny it is that they had to cut an entire like pivotal episode of Outlaw Star because of the fact
Because
that
it was nothing but all horny all the time.
it was all horny all the time, except for like the 3 minutes of very important plot in it. And they were just
Yeah, that like
completely ruined.
actually like set up the ending.
Yeah, it's just like, why did you combine these two things?
Yeah, it's so weird and dumb and bad.